that guy in that old shirt? Who must be the fence expert? Who's that guy in that old shirt? Who must be the fence expert? It's almost time to talk about the fences. It's time to discuss operations and expenses. It's time, it's really time to elevate small businesses. It's time for Joe to drop his knowledge. It's relentless. This rhyme of mine is getting a bit ridiculous. So here we go. We're live with Joe. Enjoy the show.
Fence fam. Does that sound familiar?
I like it. I like it.
What is up, guys? We are coming to you live from the West Coast Fence Show here in Reno at the Peppermill Resort. Dan, what a place.
Dude, this, pulling up, like, it's always nice from the outside. Then you come in, and then I walk into this room. This a Coliseum. That's how I've been describing it to people.
Yeah. Absolutely. I tell you what, the whole facility's been really great.
Mm-hmm.
This room specifically,
yes,
very nice.
It was
very
made
nice.
For a fence show, I think.
It really was. It really was. Tons of vendors, sold out. I don't see an empty spot here. Sold out twice. That's right. They sold out, and then they expanded it, and then sold that out again. And I'm telling you what, it seems like it's a really good mix of vendors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see brands we know. I mean, U.S. Automatics right here, Nationwide's up front, Hearth's here. Just the big names that you know. But there's also a great mix of vendors that I haven't met before. I mean, we're over on the West Coast, so Pacific Wire, there's a company over there that I haven't really met, but seems like they do good work. Yeah, seems like a good mix of vendors.
You know, I wasn't expecting so many vinyl vendors to be out.
Yeah.
I think with, you know, I'm coming from a vinyl world where
Sure.
I think it's gotten better and better over the years. So it's
Yeah.
probably creeping more West Coast.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was as common, but
Sure.
the product's great. The selection's great. Great boost. There's no fluff here. That's what I've been telling people.
Right.
There's no,
That's a good way to put
there's
it.
nothing that we don't want to see. Like Fencer's Row over here, Abbey Hardware.
It's like the who's who.
My
yeah.
Salesman, U.S.
Yeah.
Hammer, Hard Country
Yeah,
Estate,
Job Nimbus.
Job
Yeah.
Nimbus, Charlie Chena with One Tap Connect,
Yeah.
NW Quick Pull, like you controlled systems, like you just go on and
The
on.
who's who of the fence industry.
Ameristar, like
Yeah.
man, it's great here. I love it.
Yeah, and then like I said, there's some new up and coming. There's an interesting booth. I haven't talked to him much, but Z Post.
Yep.
So kind of a new metal
You see their
post.
booth?
Yeah.
It's
It's a
sweet.
trailer. It's a sweet
I think
trailer.
it's an ice fishing trailer that lowers.
Is it?
I think that's what that is. We have them kind of where I'm at, and it's like
That
it's
is
a trailer. They lower it, so but now it's just like a no step entry, and it's just a built out trailer booth. Very cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just walked past it when they were setting it up earlier. Just a slick trailer, but it's turned into they've got a bunch of demos and displays, and so you're also seeing unique booths, I guess is the point.
Yep.
It's heck of a deal. I tell you, this morning was education. Popped my head in a few of those, all full.
Yep.
So bunch of education going on. Guys, we are about 20 minutes from the opening here. What I wanted to do is come to you guys live, one with kind of our first impressions. Remind you, if you're in the area and you haven't made plans to
Right.
attend, you ought to. It sounds like pre-registrations have exceeded expectations
Awesome.
significantly.
Awesome.
So, and I tell you, it's like the fence folks have taken over
Yes.
the Pepper Mill.
Yes.
It's fence people ever. It's great.
You hear, I was walking back from that pre-party last night, which was awesome. And they're like, there's all these fence people around here. Everyone thinks the fence world's just like a little mom and pop fence. They don't understand it's this.
Right.
Like
right.
it's awesome. But yes, I recorded a podcast at like 9:00 at night in the registration table.
Yeah.
Not thinking that was a safe spot. And
Yeah.
people were still coming up.
Really?
Yes. So buzz is real. The buzz is real.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of good. Buzz is the word. There's a lot of good buzz here. So, you mentioned last night the opening party, the welcoming party.
Yeah.
That was great.
It was a little nightclub there, so
Yeah.
everything's, I don't want to call it on campus in the resort.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to go anywhere. It's an amazing place, clean, crisp, modern.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
something that like it really was fun, and the networking there, man, it just like,
Unreal.
again, try to bottle that. instead of-
Oh,
yeah.
forget about it. I mean, I think I was there for about 3 hours, and it felt like about
Yep.
15 minutes.
Yep.
Just a bunch
Isn't
of
it
different
crazy?
good conversations.
Isn't it crazy how that goes? Like
Yeah.
you blink and you're like, holy cow, it's been an hour.
Yeah, we walked into it like, all right, we're gonna see a few people, say hello to a few people, then we're gonna go get dinner.
Yeah.
And then dinner didn't happen.
I was gonna
So-
say you've been golfing too.
yeah, Saturday. Yeah, not Saturday. Yeah, yesterday we went golfing. So 7 a.m. was the call time for the golf. So luckily they fed us well on that. So
Okay,
maybe
good.
that held me over a little bit.
Yeah.
But talking about just everything being on one property. The food's here, right? So they've got, I don't know, I haven't found all the restaurants. There's like a wall of restaurants. The displays for I think there's like 8 or 10 of them.
I think
up
there's
there.
8, something
yeah.
like that.
I found
It's-
2 of them so far. So.
Yeah, I tried to find a couple, and it's a casino, so it's
Yeah.
awesome. Like
Yeah.
it's an experience. Like
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
I don't. It's a lot of fun here.
Yeah, rooms are nice. Which tower are you in?
The Tuscany here.
Yeah, Tuscany's
Yeah, I
nice.
walked in. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, and it's just a standard room.
Is it really?
Yes. I mean, mine is, but it's a big room. It's a big room for sure.
Dang. I had
So-
to do a FaceTime with my wife to show her the room, and
Yeah,
she was like,
yeah.
"This is awesome." I'm
Yeah,
like, you should have came.
Yeah, it must have been nice.
Yeah.
Must be
Yeah,
nice.
could have been in the tub all day, Sandy.
That's right.
Hope
That's
you're
right.
listening.
Or at the pool.
Or the 3 pools.
The 3 pools.
3 pools.
3 and 1 over there. Yeah.
The 3 pools.
Now, what was interesting is, so we got here Wednesday, and when we got here, we realized this was the end of Burning Man, which is not too
Oh.
far.
Okay.
So there's a lot of folks here from Burning Man.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I got in at like 1 a.m. or 1:30, when
Yeah.
I was checking in, and there's a couple other people checking in, I'm like, this is a different crowd.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
So the people watching here is premium right
Yes,
now.
yes.
It's great.
Yes, it was okay. Makes sense.
Oh, but guys, yeah. So let us know you're here by saying hi, standard stuff. Also, drop a comment if you got any questions, anything like that. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions and, yeah, talk a little bit about the show. Now, so I'm going to be doing lives throughout the show. You're going to be recording a
Yep.
ton of podcasts. You've already been recording podcasts.
Yep.
So, guys, if you weren't able to come, there's going to be a lot of content to hopefully bring the show to you, which is the whole kind of idea or concept here. Is I'm going to be bringing you video. Dan's going to be bringing you audio. Just grabbing people. It could be vendors. It could be just attendees, anything like that. To try to bring the show to you guys, because I absolutely understand it's hard to make all these shows.
It is.
I mean, it's especially it seems like in the last 3 to 5 years, the amount of shows is increasing significantly. And maybe not the number of shows, but the awareness about the shows.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. I didn't know this existed.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
Prior
yeah.
to social media, I had no idea.
Yeah, and it really, everyone, well, Tony Thornton's like, that's going to be a good show. I'm like, really? Way over there? Reno? Okay, West Coast, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then when it got the buzz, and then obviously it sold out, I heard on your show with Luke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm glad we made that decision. And man, this is really some good stuff here.
I am so excited. I think I've already felt like I've had a good show so far,
Yes.
and the doors aren't even open.
Isn't that crazy how that
Yeah.
works?
Yeah.
You meet everyone. Going back to the booths, like the Z Post,
Yeah.
then they have like a US Hammer showing how to drive that.
Yep.
Like it's just getting to these shows and getting your hands on stuff and,
Yeah.
and seeing it. This pergola keeps catching my eye. I am building them
It's nice.
in my
It is nice.
and I'm doing those because like that's good money. Like that's what you don't until you come here,
Right.
pick their brain real quick,
Sure.
answer some critical questions to ease my mind, then I can go back to
Well,
it.
and I think this is a great example of the value of these shows still. I mean, there's social media and you can find these things, and you knew pergolas existed.
Right.
Obviously.
Yep.
But until you were here and saw this one and went, something clicked.
And you have the time.
Right.
And those questions that you don't want to go through email or phone call. You
Right.
want it straight to the horse's mouth, and that's where you can't get much better than this.
Agreed. So I saw FinScloud. I was talking to Julie over at FinScloud last night. They've brought an entire team with them.
Awesome.
They've got a big booth over there to where they're simply walking. I mean, they're doing demos. If you're not a client, then they'll obviously do demos. But they're also there to support just current users with, hey, I'm having a problem with this, or I'm trying to get it to do that sort of thing. They've got 3 or 4 monitors over there, and half of them are just for helping existing customers.
That's awesome. They're a staple in the trade too.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Julie with FenceCloud.
Absolutely.
All these booths, Kelly with NW Quick Pull, Matt Warner with My Salesman is right over here. Like it's great.
He's here
to-
himself.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't heard a woo yet.
Well, he came in when I was talking to Zach with Blackline HHP.
Yes, right up
you
front,
just keep name dropping. And up at the registration booth, and he was on the phone, I think, with his wife, and they were pulling the trigger on hiring someone. Literally, like he's like, "Let me finish this conversation," and it was just wild. Like, it's awesome to see, meet new friends and meet up with old friends. Like it's a good time. Yeah.
And there's so much here going on. So we talked about education, free education going on right next door. It's Brad saying hello from off camera. But there's a lot of education going on next door. It's still going on.
Yeah.
Free education. I mean, obviously it's the meet and greet. A lot of it's the networking.
Yes.
So not only at the nightclub last night, it's in the elevators.
Yes.
I mean, because obviously a place like this, the Fence family has taken up a majority of this place. So it's having, we were having lunch out here after we got this set up, and there was 2 or 3 Fence guys there.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guys from Celtic? They are
Maybe.
green wearing
Yes,
Celtic.
I did
coat.
see that then. Yes.
Great guys.
Yep,
and
I've seen that.
at lunch, just randomly, and saw them. Said, that is an incredible outfit. I like that a lot.
I did see him walking. I didn't know what was going on with it. I didn't ask questions, but I didn't know they were part of the Fence fam. But hey,
there they
arms
are.
are wide open.
That's
right.
right. That's right. Absolutely. No, it's been a tremendous show so far,
Yeah.
and like I said, the doors aren't even open.
Right.
Doors are opening at 3:00, or the opening ceremony starts at 3:00. Then there's going to be a reception here from 6:00, actually right behind us.
Okay.
From 6 to 7 tonight.
Okay.
And then they're kind of releasing everybody out into the into the Pepper Mill to meet and greet and dinner and do all that. And of course, it's in Reno, so there's a full casino here as well.
It's
so
full-blown
I
casino.
have a feeling
here.
you'll see some Fence family in the casino later on.
That's right.
But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too.
Really am.
This is the intimacy of this show is, it's really good.
So
I like it.
I'm glad you said that, the intimacy. So it's a big show. There's a lot going on, but as compared to a national show, a Fence Tech, it is a bit smaller. But I think one thing that you should bear in mind is it's a regional show.
Yeah.
Right. So it started out as just kind of the Northwest or the West Coast region of just, hey, here, let's have a show to represent us. Or because, I mean, just heck, between you and I, your market's very different than my market.
Exactly.
So can you imagine what the market in California looks like?
Right.
A lot different than our markets.
Right.
So let's have a show where we can show local-ish vendors or regional vendors and try to get a feel for things that are pertinent to us.
Yeah.
And it's grown from that
To this.
to this.
Wild.
Yeah.
I asked Brad, I'm like, why is it every 3 years? Why can't it be every other year? And it's a volunteer basis. So big shout out to that. Cause can you imagine running a business family and then throw this on top?
Right. Well, so Luke Bailey, so his dad's here, he's here, his kids are here running registration, his wife's here helping run registration. Talk about volunteer driven and family driven.
Yes.
That's the name of the game here.
Yeah. It's that Fence fam feeling, man. It's the same feeling when I was at the Northeast show, and maybe one day we'll have a Midwest show, Joe.
Yeah, well,
how fun would that be?
We've talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these shows alternate.
Yep.
Right. So West Coast is 3 years.
Yep.
So September 2027 is the next West Coast Fence show. Now, Northeast and Jackpot alternate. They alternate. So yeah, a Midwest show's not a bad idea.
I'm telling you,
not a bad idea.
Midwest is the best, right?
That's
well, that you're
absolutely.
a Midwest chapter. I should say Chicago
Yeah.
is the best.
No. You said it right. You said it right. Midwest is the best. I mean, it won't be. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised when the Midwest chapter wins Chapter of the Year again. We asked them just to go ahead and send us the trophy just ahead of time, but they won't do that. But anyway, no, I agree. Midwest is the best. But no, I think a regional show makes so much sense because of this, right? I think West Coast Fence Show kind of shows us, and I'm sure Northeast and Jackpot as well, the value of a regional show.
Yes.
First and foremost, it's easier for fence contractors in California, Washington State, Oregon, in Nevada to get here than, when the show was in Nashville, it's probably a little tougher to get across the country.
Well, the other thing is, like, what I noticed in that Northeast show, and I'm willing to bet that we'll see it here too, is these local companies or more local will bring more team members.
Yeah.
Because
that
it's
makes
easier.
sense.
It's obviously cheaper than going to the big show.
Right.
And again, the Northeast show does fence way different than this West Coast does, and you can tell by the products here.
Sure.
So that's why it's so I like the regional shows, because it's more specific, more driven directly for these local contractors, which I love because it's easy to get in and out of here, bring more team members, more cost effective, and it's more meat and less filler.
Well, and it gives everyone the opportunity to get together again too.
Exactly.
So that's, the networking and camaraderie component. We can't talk enough about that.
Right. Yep.
You were introducing me to a gentleman I've never met before from Tulsa.
Yep.
3 hours down the road from me,
right.
and here we are meeting in Reno, Nevada.
Exactly. It's wild. It's wild. I like it. I met a guy, Abbey Hardware, stopped at my shop a couple months ago. I wasn't there, but man, to put a face to a name, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, and it's also nice to reconnect with salesmen, existing sales relationships, right? So sales rep from whomever, just being able to see them again and say hello, because granted we're post-pandemic now, but it's still hard for a lot of these guys to get out, and the outside sales isn't what it used to be, sort of thing. So being able to reconnect and all that, not only see new vendors, but to see existing vendors as well.
Yep. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm excited for this show.
Absolutely. So show hours today goes till 7 o'clock. Like I said, reception starts at 6. Tomorrow opens up at 10 a.m. So we'll be coming to you guys live again throughout the day today, throughout the day tomorrow. Be sure to also listen to the Dan Wheeler's podcast, Fence Industry Podcast. Check out, you got just a ton of ton of conversations being recorded coming out.
It's gonna be fun.
A few other things to put on your guys' calendar if they're not already there. We've got AFA University coming up November.
Yes.
That's going to be in Tulsa.
Right.
We've also got FinTech coming up in January in Salt Lake City.
Yep.
So, guys, if you weren't able to attend here, there's ample opportunity to get involved still. Like I said, next show up being in November, and then, or it's not really a show, it's a training opportunity and certification as well.
And
Next big show is going to be FinTech there in Nashville.
and in Salt Lake City.
Or you Salt Lake City.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to see all the snowy mountains. And,
I'm telling you, we were there for mid-year, and talking about everything being on one campus, that seems to be the theme for the last few. There at the Salt Palace is where FinTech's going to be at. There's probably 10 or 12 hotels that surround Salt Palace. So I didn't go last time. So this may be old news to a lot of you, but it was new to me. The hotels are all right there. There's a ton of dining right there. There's a mall right across the street. There's public transportation. I don't think we're going to rent a car. I don't think so.
Awesome.
I think we're going to any one of the hotels obviously offer airport shuttles, but they also have a public transit system, like a metro rail there. You can get going anywhere you want to.
I'm excited. The episode you did with Josh Rand showed how easy it is, because some guys get kind of turned off on traveling, especially if you're bringing a team member to hotels, food. It's really simple, guys. It really is. Like,
it couldn't be easier.
You could travel as cheap as you want to when you go to an event.
Yep.
You really can.
There's a Holiday Inn Express there.
Yep.
So, not saying anything about Holiday Inn Express. I'm just saying it's not all Hyatt Regencies, right? It's not all just super high end. And when I was looking at that, it seems like, so I always look at things like which points program is everyone in and all that. So you had some Hilton there, you had some IHC there, you had just, no matter where your points are, there's a hotel for that as well. It was interesting. So, when Josh and I were kind of walking around, kind of taking in the sites, he had mentioned, so it's right there next to a religious center, and they have group meetings twice a year. It's like 30,000 people come in twice a year to come to these conferences, the assemblies. So this place is used to bringing in tons of people. So if they're used to bringing in, moving around and feeding and all that, 30,000 people, I think 8, 9, 10,000 people are going to be a drop in the bucket.
Yep. Yeah, it won't even affect them, which is nice, because I've been to events where we've stormed small cities, and it's hard to eat, it's hard to stay, everything is hard.
Yep. You end up staying a little bit further away and all that.
Yep.
No, this place will be a drop in the bucket, which means that they've got all the infrastructure. So one of the things that Josh and I talked about also is just, I was like, it's going to be January in Salt Lake City. What are the chances it's going to snow? He's like, it's definitely going to snow. But what you have to understand is this city is built, it's not their first winter, right? So they've got the equipment, they've got the manpower, they've got all that. If it's, a big snow system comes through in the evening, it'll likely be cleared up by the morning. And, another benefit of everything being right there is you don't have far to go.
Right. Yeah. So, that's right.
I'm very excited for this show, very excited for the next show. Guys, let us know you're here by saying hello. Just, then, of course, like I said, we're here to answer any questions you guys might have. Mark, any questions up or anything up there? All right. Well, we'll be here for a few more minutes. Let us know what's going on, and then, or what questions you might have. So the rest of the day, so I've talked to, we'll probably have Matt up. We'll talk to Matt with my salesman. I talked to Mark from Job Nimbus. So Job Nimbus has a new sales process out. So I've been using it for about a month. Ever since mid-year. So I went over there during mid-year. Great system as far as proposals go. Probably have Mark up here to talk about that. Do you have anyone lined out for the podcast so far? Is it really just grabbing people as opportunity?
I'm grabbing a lot, because there's a lot of Abbey Hardware. I had a conversation with them. I want to get them on. Country Estate is my vinyl company. We've been installing it since I was this big. And I've never met the owners there, so they're almost all here.
Great guys.
So incredible. I'm excited to do that. But Matt Warner, Brian Harris has a new jackhammer I want to hear about. It's just crazy. I love PDS slats. These are like my favorite slats. Like, it's crazy. All these companies here I'm going to get on. And of course, Zach Eckenberg. With Controlled Products. Going to talk accreditation for like AFAU and the gate safety the gate automation classes and stuff. How important that is. So I'm excited. I'm excited. We have some past attendees of AFAU from the distribution side
Okay.
going to come on, talk their story and how it's benefited them and their company by attending that. So that's exciting.
Yep.
So I'm excited. It's going to be great.
Now, speaking of AFAU, you're going to be an instructor this year, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be an instructor, and I'm excited because it's a Ameristar.
Yeah.
I'm an Ameristar guy.
Yep,
I think-
absolutely.
You too?
Yes, oh, yeah.
There's nothing
yeah.
that compares. So I'm excited. I'm
Have you
excited.
been through there before?
No.
Oh, buckle up. It is
No.
such a cool facility.
Yeah.
I mean, just the amount of just robotic, just the
Yeah.
amount of all like watching the process. So they'll take you through the process of it, robotically welding, doing all that, going through the coating. It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm
It's
excited. I've seen those bits and clips I used to do.
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
love seeing that,
Yeah.
and the tips and tricks I used to give. So I'm excited for the AFAU.
Yeah.
It's down in Tulsa. It's called Fencers Row.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Ameristar, and there's a Helco and a Binford,
Yep,
and
they're all
Fence
right there.
Jack is right there. Like Tulsa is Spencer City, Nathan Downs isn't far from there. We
Yep.
love Nathan.
Yep.
A lot of Alan Boulding's down there. Hopefully he'll
Yeah.
stop in.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That's going to be a fun week.
It's going to be great. We'll be there covering it. You'll be there instructing. I mean, it's going to be an incredible time. It's just, guys, this is a great time to be in the industry. I mean, think back. Think back 5 years ago.
Yes.
Think back 10 years ago.
4 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What was the industry like then? It's not nearly where we are now.
No, the sharing out there and the training, the knowledge, and realistically, it's 99% free. So there's just no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to be better. There's no reason not to succeed. The blueprint's there in 10 different ways.
Well, and you've got a whole fence family here willing to share with.
Yes. Yep.
That's the big thing is, we were having a conversation about driving posts,
Yeah.
just randomly, organically talking about, it works in my area, doesn't work in this area, doesn't work in my area, wherever. And then what are best practices, that
Right.
sort of thing.
Right.
I mean, we've had that conversation 2 or 3 times so far.
Yeah.
And it's just the amount of people willing to help people in this industry is incredible.
I don't know any other industry. I know some guys in that lawn and landscape world, and sharing there is great too. But here, man, I'm telling you, guys are willing to pick each other up. That guy that was with that home invasion north of you, look at this guy.
Yeah. Yep.
$10,000 budget on the GoFundMe was 33 or 35 grand.
35, yeah.
Something wild, and that was in 48 hours.
Talk about a fence family coming together.
And few people know this guy. They just know he was in need.
He's in the fence community.
Yep.
Genuinely good guy. Needed some help.
Yeah.
Community came together, surrounded him.
Family.
Yeah.
Because 10 grand's not good. The way he was injured was he was not bouncing back. It
Right.
wasn't happening.
Right.
And that wasn't going far. And everyone stepped up, and it's just. And I know there was more than just that too.
Yeah.
I know some guys went down and helped out and checked out on him.
Yeah, and there's some guys getting together to help with the workload.
Yep.
There's some guys. because business doesn't stop.
Right.
So he had projects that it was in the process of. So it sounds like guys are surrounding him just with help there as well. Saying, how can we help? What can we get done for you? Just all
Right.
that thing. Because like you said, he's got a family.
Yeah.
And the family needs fed. And the family needs
right.
sustained. And he's got guys. He's got. It's everyone need to help.
Right.
So a call went out, and I tell you what, I was proud to be in the fence fam.
Yeah.
When all that was going on.
Yeah.
Like what a world we live in.
That's right. It's Lower Middle Ag is really stepping up to come in the fence world too,
Yeah.
and I love seeing that because it's more guys getting taken care of too. So
Yeah. You were over at the East Coast rivalry, right?
East Coast Fence Rivalry, what an event! Fall Fence Forum is next.
Yep.
Those guys are a different breed there. The machinery, you think we got pounders. And then they laugh. They just laugh. They're like, come on.
What do you got? Bobcat MT100. Well, that's cute. Look at this thing.
Yeah, look at this. You see this rolling robot I got here?
Basically looks like heavy machinery coming off a step deck trailer. But talk about an absolutely great group of human beings.
Yes. Yeah. And I love seeing them. I love the American Timber and Steels and Stockades coming into the fence tech world, getting their own niche and their own corner in the show. So nothing but great things coming there too.
My first interaction with ag fencing was through Luke Gibson.
Okay.
And just I wasn't sure, Luke's a great guy.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
salt of the earth human being, but you never know if that person represents the whole industry or if it's an anomaly. Come to find out, whole industry.
Yes.
It's-
It's wild, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
wild. You know, the competition side of
Yeah.
things, like, you know, when I was at the East Coast Fence Rivalry, if I had to guess, Joe, he was saying 300. There's more than 300 people. There's 500 there. And I had a guy on from New Zealand and somewhere else, I can't remember. And they were talking like their competitions bring 15,000 people in.
Good grief.
So like we're catching up to them, and like so the ag world's just growing.
Yeah.
They haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg yet. They haven't. Us on the resi side, industrial side, they call us. I think we're growing too at a breakneck speed. These shows help it. The trainings are helping it. All the content's helping.
Yeah.
It's just like you said earlier. I couldn't have picked a better time to be in the fence world right now.
Absolutely not.
So-
You know, an additional component of that is the certification. Just an important component of any industry that's, you know, investing in professionalism, best practices, and all that. Certification comes with it, just to show that you have the knowledge and skills.
Yes.
I absolutely understand. There are some tremendous people out there that don't hold certifications that are great at what they do. I'm not saying they're not, but anymore, if you pull another professional industry up, they're all full of certifications, just to prove that these are skill sets that I have proven to have mastered, or I have, you know, education on, that sort of thing. So to see AFA stepping up and bringing out more and more certifications, clarifying certifications, updating certifications, I think that's tremendous also.
Well, when I'm shopping, I'm looking for a contractor to work in my house.
Yeah.
They have to have a certification. They
Sure.
something. I
Yeah.
am that guy. Like, because I know that means they're going one step further. It's ongoing typically.
Yeah.
And you know, they're looking to better their industry too, which that just goes full circle, which, you know, that means their team members are typically happier.
Yep.
And stuff. So it's just, to me, that's just a box that needs checked.
Well, and it's not just a company that's just only out for revenue, just bulk revenue.
Right.
It's a company that's interested in investing in its people,
Correct.
investing in the company, and you can kind of take some hints from that to say, you know, hey, if they're taking time to send people certification instead of just trying to cram out as much revenue as they can, they're making some good business decisions.
Yes.
If they're making good business decisions here, pretty good chance they're making good business decisions throughout the business.
And they're good people.
Right.
If they're good people, they're going to treat you right. Your family. That's my big thing. Is where I have my family. You know, it's just a box that needs checked.
Sure.
In my opinion.
I absolutely agree. You know, there's new certifications coming out. Operations management came out
Yep.
a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe.
I think a year ago.
Okay, recently.
Yes. Yep.
So, and that's something that's being just constantly viewed and revised, just making sure everything's up to date. Of course, all of the automation.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about something that changes daily. So just being at mid-year also kind of gave me a sneak peek into the educational side, where they are constantly reviewing and updating and submitting changes, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The AFA itself, both national and these regional chapters, are really investing a lot of time and effort, volunteer mostly, I might add, to really make sure the industry itself has the education that it needs, the certification it needs to show customers that they know what they're doing,
Right.
and just ultimately giving them the tools to be successful.
Yes. The gate automation is probably one of the hottest trending topics right now. Probably in the last 8 months.
Yeah, yeah.
It just seems like, well, you see it. These gate automation classes, they're always sold out.
Yes.
When I was in
Right.
Dallas last year, they were. This show was sold out. When we were up in the Northeast, there was a huge influx of guys here just for that class.
Yeah.
So like it is what's coming next. I would say, with, you know, my nose and ears to the ground, like I would say it's probably the hottest trending topic in the fence world currently, probably over the last 6 months.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think it's going to continue to grow.
Yes, I do too.
I mean, you see, you know, think 10 years ago, a gate operator at somebody's house was like a real indication of wealth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh,
Yep.
no, that thing moves when you just drive up to it.
Yep.
Wild. Whereas now you've got agricultural gates with openers on them. You've got the opportunity is there for more people.
Yes.
It's more accessible to people to get into gate automation. So if you have more customers requesting it, requiring it, you've got to have more professionals there to install, service, I mean, on automation, service is an incredible component.
Yes.
And with that comes the need for proper training.
Yes.
Make sure we know what we're doing,
Yes.
so that reduces callbacks, leads to higher customer satisfaction, the whole thing. And God forbid, it keeps you from making critical errors that might get you in a lot of hot water legally.
I agree. We do a lot of automation, and it's more my dad's side, but it's something we take very serious.
Sure.
Very, very serious. So getting to events like this and kind of cleaning up some of those questions,
Yeah.
man, you can sleep at night. You're more confident selling. And like you said, the revenue that you can come through on just the maintenance side.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm in a factory industrial world.
Sure.
And there's automated gates everywhere.
Yep.
And they always have to be running. That is a revenue stream there.
Well, and they are looking for they're comfortable and familiar with service contracts too. Monthly inspections with recommended updates, that sort of thing.
Right.
So it's something we've been talking about in the fence world for a while, and fence standing world too. Is talking about how to generate recurring revenue.
Yes.
So because one, recurring revenue is great. The check shows up every month. Love that. But two, at some point in the company's life cycle, hopefully there's gonna be a sale.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the idea of a sale is to get the highest valuation for it, get the most money for that company.
Right.
How often do you see in Facebook groups people saying, "Hey, I'm selling my company, make me an offer"?
Yeah.
Like, well, what are the processes in place? What does the team look like? And really, unfortunately, it turns into more of what are your assets worth? And that's really the valuation.
Correct.
Inventory, equipment.
Yep.
Whereas a company that has recurring revenue, now all of a sudden they become more valuable.
Yeah, you get a little bit more interested. Like, tell me more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Well, and it's predictable revenue.
Yes.
The reason a lot of companies aren't valued higher is because you can't make a case for predictable revenue when you are the one that's running the show, when there's not standard operating procedures in place, when there's not, a team that's familiar with using these systems and procedures. Because who wants to buy something that's going to turn into a job? Ultimately, if you're buying a company, you're buying it as a standalone system.
Right.
Anyway, a little far afield there.
Well, you could just start your own, right?
Well, of course. Yeah, at that point.
It. Yeah. You might as well.
If I'm going to be my own boss, then I'll start it myself. What am I buying?
Exactly.
Inventory and assets.
Yeah.
Trucks and equipment.
Yep.
So gate automation is a great thing to add to a company because it comes with service contracts. It can be revolving or recurring revenue. But also when we're talking about standard operating procedures, team members that know how to use them, education comes into play, operation certification comes into play, getting your team members educated in these systems or in these programs to run a well-oiled system.
Yes.
You might even be able to step back for a prolonged period of time. Take a 2-week vacation.
Maybe
how wild would that be?
Sneak away to a show and learn something new.
Right.
And bring it back to the company and grow and scale. That's how it's done.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you where River City Fence was and is now in 4 short years of me attending shows. It is wild.
Oh yeah.
It is wild. And those that get it. Some guys are still going to be like, Dan, well, you could have found it on in the internet, or is it really did it really affect your business that much? Yes, it did. But yeah, it's wild when you embrace it. You don't have to go to every show.
Right.
You and I are crazy. We travel everywhere. But I love it. But yes, that's how you grow. That's how you scale. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and then as you grow and scale, bringing team members to these shows.
Yes.
Getting them involved in the training and certification.
Yes.
And just building a stronger foundation to build a stronger company.
Yes. I love it.
And I tell you what, there's a lot of people taking this show seriously. What's funny, we joked about people that come to these as vacations, right? That this is the vacation. Like, well, it can be. Yeah. You're your own boss, I guess. But a lot of people here taking it serious.
Yes.
Right. So the show doors just opened, and this show floor is already humming. I'm sure you guys hear it in the background noise. There's a lot of people here when there are a lot of distractions in this town. You could be a lot of other places right now.
Yep.
A lot of people here are serious, meeting and greeting with vendors. I love seeing it.
Yeah.
It's the people that you think are here, right? Either the companies you think are here are just in terms of just everyone the who's who of fencing.
Yep.
Companies, distributors. I mean, Tony Thornton just walked by. I mean, you got the educators here.
Yeah.
A lot of guys putting in a lot of good work.
Charlie with Fence News is up there.
Yeah.
Probably
Just
you being Charlie.
yeah, being Charlie. That's right. That's right.
I love it. I love it.
But no, coming to these shows, I mean, I feel, guys, it feels like we're really harping on this because I think it's because that's how important this is. Just being in this room around these people gives you opportunities to better yourself and better your company. I mean, what's the saying? You know, your net worth is the average of the 10 people around you, or some version of that saying. I mean, think about the net worth in this room. Not only in dollars, I mean, dollars certainly, but also just in life experience, right? And just business experience and acumen. There's a tremendous group of people gathered here.
I think I said this a couple weeks ago on my podcast where I've met a lot of fence people in the fence world since I started the podcast, started traveling. Hands down, not a close second, the most successful fence guys in our trade are at almost every show where they attend a lot of them.
Yep.
Training, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
That period, case closed.
Sure.
Like, and I bet there's not many people. You're one of them that could probably been to more shows than me and could argue that. But in my opinion, hands down, not a close second. Those are the most successful guys. You know, a name that sticks out. Brad Jones can walk down this aisle right now, and 100 people are going to name. And why? He's networked, and that dude, everyone knows him.
Everyone
he
knows
has his hands in everything. Like,
and another legitimately good person.
Yes.
Just a good human
he's from
being.
Canada.
Yeah.
Drives. Well, you drive Rams. Though.
Okay,
he's a great guy. He drives Rams.
Yeah, great. That guy drives Rams. All right, let's listen.
Well, he went on my podcast in an epic rant of people should work at Ford dealerships or something, and we got a lot of feedback. And I just want everyone to know it was like 100-ounce beer, literally 100-ounce beer, cowboy hat, and he's walking his yard, and that's how we recorded that. So
Good.
It was one of them like rants. He's like, "I want to record something." I'm like, "Okay,
all right, here we go."
But yes, anyways, yeah.
Just like I said, the net worth in this room, just an experience and and mentorship, willing to mentor people and help them. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of value.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't here and you're able to get here, you absolutely should. If not, West Coast Fence Show is coming back September of 2027. You should absolutely put that on your calendar. It's already on mine. Dan and I are going to come in later on, probably tomorrow, with a few guys from West Coast Fence Show because we've got a contract to sign.
Do we really?
We have a contract to sign.
Is this breaking news, Joe Evers?
We haven't talked about it yet, so it
Okay.
is now. It's the official influencers of the West Coast Fence Show.
That has a nice ring to it.
Doesn't it, though?
That has a nice ring to it.
Welcome to Reno.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Welcome to Reno, it is. But yeah, we've got an official influencer contract to sign. We've got it on display. It is the size of a poster.
Okay.
It's basically the contract equivalent of like a big check. Those big presentation
I
checks.
like it.
Yeah.
It was like, I was on the office. I went up, so he's like, I have to contact my my accountant over there at H&R Block. But no, this is awesome. I love it. I'm excited. Man, I said it before, the excitement's real. Everyone here, this is awesome. But I'm excited to be a part of this show.
Absolutely.
Because this is what I love doing.
I mean, this is like the 12th show they've had. So
Really.
do some mental math. Every 3 years, they've been doing this for a while.
Well, some guys are showing their age. Like, I've been to the last 8 shows, and I'm like, every 3 years.
Times 3.
I was like, dang, man. But no, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited to get involved with them now. I wish I'd gotten involved with them sooner. I wish I knew about them sooner.
Yeah.
But what we're hoping to do is bring greater awareness of this show to you guys at home so that maybe in 2027 you're in a position to come here.
Yes.
For those of you that can't, we're going to try to bring as much content to you guys from the show, whether it be in interviews here or whether it be interviews on the podcast. So be sure to check out the Joe Everest YouTube page, Facebook page, etc. Fence Industry Podcast.
All major platforms.
Wherever you consume audio, there's a good chance it's there.
That's right.
Also Instagram.
I'm on Instagram. I'm an Instagram guy. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we drop a fresh episode. So big shout out to all the sponsors. TFIP.
Yeah,
save you
that's
30%.
right. Yep.
One click gets it quick. One call gets it all.
I love it.
Trademark that, Mark. Huh? There's Mark smiling.
Yeah, TFIP on ozfence.store saves you 30%.
I love it.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, shout out to the guys. I was so proud. So I'm obviously here, so I'm not there. Eric that runs e-commerce, he had a vacation already scheduled Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
So those guys, but they're still getting packages out.
I love
They're, shout out to Mater Enterprises. They placed a very large order with us, and I was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, they might need some help here. No, nailed it. So
Awesome.
it was like 5 or 6 boxes of fence fittings going out to Mater. So today's Friday. He'll get them probably Monday or Tuesday.
I like it. And you can be here and they can be there and the business is still successful.
Because it's a strong business that starts with a strong foundation.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And standards, standard operating procedures, processes and systems. Really.
That's right.
So, but anyway, TFIP, the Fence Industry Podcast. Check them out. All audio platforms.
Yep.
And on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, appreciate you joining along. Let's see here. Oh, looks like we have a few people here. Mark, why don't you start calling them off? We'll say hello to a few people.
Shane Catton says, "What's up, boys?"
Shane Catton. What's up, Shane?
Make it happen, Catton.
Make it happen, Captain. Midwest Fence Supply.
Yep.
All right.
Indie chapter.
Indie chapter president.
Kind of killing it.
Talk about.
Good luck, Joe.
Yeah, right. That's the thing is like as I'm sitting here saying, the Midwest is the best chapter here. It's like, well, Shane's coming for us. And actually, he made that declaration at the AFA mid-year.
Really?
He introduced himself and he said, "You guys better watch yourselves because I'm coming for chapter of the year." He
That's-
sat down, just mic drop. Boom.
Sounds like something Shane would do.
Right.
Sounds like something Shane
Yeah, very in character for sure. What is up, Shane? Appreciate you joining us.
Paul Hooker says, "Great show, enjoy."
Paul Hooker, do you know Paul?
I don't.
He's so I met Paul originally through Ameristar. He was our Ameristar rep. No, just legitimately good guy. He's a St. Louis native, so he's kind of between you and I. He's
Okay.
kind of over there. Yeah. Yep.
Did you hear the first woo?
I did. I heard a woo come from over
from
here.
Matt
So
Warner.
Matt's at it.
So it started. It's officially started. That ballot's rang. It's like ding, 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 ding.
That should have been the door opener.
Yes.
It's just Matt wooing. Absolutely. All right. What else we got, Mark?
Brian Carosi says, "The more you know, the better off we all are."
Yeah.
Ryan up in Rhode Island,
Absolutely agree. Yep.
the thickest accent in the game.
Woo number 2 for those keeping count. But no, yeah. So absolutely, educate you. I cannot understate how important education is. And that's listen. This is I'm gonna be on a dad rant here for a minute because I'm gonna start sounding like my dad. I wish I'd paid more attention in school. I wish I had gathered up all that free education I could, so that I wouldn't have to pay as much for education now. I'm trying to explain that to my 15-year-old daughter, and I'm coming off very much as a dad. And I get the eye roll, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, no, I get it. I've been in that seat before.
Right.
But education is absolutely paramount. And events like this, education's free. I mean, listen, airfare here was pretty cheap. I mean, it wasn't very expensive. The rooms here are reasonably priced. I had lunch. It was like a chicken Caesar wrap, massive. I ate half of it, $9.50.
Yeah.
So you can get to education pretty cheaply here, I guess is the point. All right, Mark, who else we got?
Robert Everett says, or Evers says,
yeah.
"I drive a Ram."
All right, Robert
Team
is
Ram.
Team Ram.
So you got
I love
Team Ram. I
it.
got only me for Team GM, but
Well, that's
we'll get there.
at least it's not Ford.
Yeah.
And,
Oh God, I wouldn't do it. Yeah. Ugh. I skin crawled there for a second.
So Mark and I, we went and visited Jodan. He had us out. So he's a guy here in Reno that has Artistic Fence. He's also a GMC guy.
Okay.
So you and he get along very well.
Yeah, he probably gets the job sites quicker, faster, and easier, right? Huh?
Debatable. Who else we got?
Lastly, we got Sarah Orlandi. She says, "That's so awesome. You guys rock."
All right. So Sister Sarah, appreciate you. So she's part of the team that's keeping things going, keeping things rocking. I tell you what, I'm absolutely so proud of the team for, just being rock stars. And, you'll get this and I haven't had this feeling for quite a while, but there for a little while when I left, there's always a nervousness. So,
Oh, yeah.
when the cat's away, the mice will play sort of
Oh, yeah.
thing. And, I'm proud of the team just because I haven't had that feeling, and I can't tell you, it's been a while. So, Appreciate you guys. Those of you that are watching from Team Orange, Ozark Fence, for being good, being who you are, being good at what you do, and being rock stars. All right. Well, guys, appreciate you tuning in. We're going to probably wrap this up because the show doors are open, and I feel like we've got some connections to make here.
Yes, sir.
So stay tuned here for some more live content. Also, subscribe to the Fence Industry Podcast wherever you listen to streaming audio at, so you can keep up to date with the interviews that are being held or being recorded.
Yeah,
That's
don't
what
ask
I was
me
going for.
vocabulary. I'm horrible at it.
But to stay up to date with Woo number 3.
It's 3.
To stay up to date with the podcast recordings that Dan's doing here.
That's right.
Guys, appreciate you tuning in as always. Joe Evers, the fence expert.
Reminding you that good fences make
Good neighbors. I love it. We'll see you guys.